Hello everyone, this is Akila. Currently I am pursuing BTech first year in Vasireddy Venkatatri Institute of Technology, bearing roll number 05D2. Today I want to explain about the control statements in Python. First of all, what is a Python? Python is a high-level, interpreted high-level programming language whose design philosophy emphasizes code readability. Its syntax is said to be clear and expressive. Python has a large comprehensive standard library. Let us discuss about the control statements in the Python. In Python, control statements are used to change or alter or modify the flow of execution. Here I have represented the flowchart of a control statements. In Python, control statements are classified into two types: conditional statements and unconditional statements. Conditional statements again classified into two types: selective or branching statements, iterative or repetition statements. Selective statements again classified into four types: if statement, if else statement, if else if statements, nested if statements. Iterative statements again classified into two types: while loop and for loop. In C we have three looping statements, and the extra loop in C is do while loop. It is not necessary in the Python and it is not provided in the Python language. Unconditional statements are classified into three types: break, continue and pass.
అలుపొస్తుంది అలుపొస్తుంది
అంటే మళ్ళీ స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడే కొట్టాలి. First of all, let us discuss about what are conditional statements. These statements depends on the condition, whether the condition is true or false. In Python, conditional statements are of two types, namely they are selection or decision making statements, and the second one is looping or repetition statements. Selection or decision making statements. Python provides four types of selection or decision making statements. Namely, they are simple if statement, if else statement, if else if statement, nested if statement. Let us discuss about what is simple if statement. Here I have represented the flowchart of the simple if statement. First of all, the cursor enters into the condition, whether if the checks the condition, whether it is right or false, right or wrong. If the condition is true, the controller moves to the conditional code. If it is false, the controller skips the conditional code and executes the statements after the conditional code. The syntax of the simple if statement is if followed by condition followed by colon. After the colon, the statements are followed by indentation. The statements which are followed by the indentation are within the loop, are within the body of the statements. After the statements which are not following the indentation are called out of the loop, out of the body of the statements. These are executed if the condition is false. First, the condition is tested. If the condition is true, then the statements given after colon are executed. We can write one or more statements after the colon. మధ్యలో ఇది ఫిఫ్త్ ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇదేంటి పని చేయట్లేదు, అంటే స్క్రీన్ షేరింగ్ లో ఉండేసరికి పని చేయట్లేదా? Let us see an example. Let us take a number, which is a number, it is followed by int. In Python, the usual data type is string. If you do not mention any type, it will consider as a string. So here we are taking a number, so we have to give int. Int of input of enter a number. There we will enter a number. If n modulus 2 equal to 0. If it is true, the conditions in the after colon are executed. Here the statement after colon are print the given number is even. If it is divided by 2 equal to 0, given the number is even. If it is not, it prints the end of the program. Alt plus T. Next, discuss about the if-else statement. The syntax for the if-else statement is if condition followed by semicolon followed by colon. After the colon, the statements are executed if the condition is true. Else, if the condition is false, the statements after else colon are executed. Here I have represented with a flow chart. Let us see the flow chart. First, the cursor enters into the condition, evaluates the condition. If the condition is true, the conditions in the if code are evaluated. If the condition is false, the statements in the else code are evaluated. Let us see it with an example. Here also I have taken the example whether the number is even or odd. In our previous program, just we have taken that whether it is even or not. But here we can represent that even or odd, both we can say. As n is a integer number, it is integer data type. So we have u n equal to int of input of enter a number. Here we have entered the number. If n modulus 2 equal to 0, that means it is an even number. The statements after the if are executed. Else, print the given number is odd. Let us see if-else statement. The syntax for the if-else statement is if condition 1, if followed by condition 1 followed by colon, the statements those execute if the condition is true. Else, if here the condition true followed by colon, statements those execute when condition 1 is false and condition 2 is false. Else, if these two are not true, then the cursor moves to the else block. Statements those execute if the condition is false. Let us take the example. Write a Python program to read two numbers. Print whether A is big or B is big or both are equal. As A and B are numbers, we have to give that integer values. So we have to give them integer data type. A equal to int of input of enter first number. And as similar, B equal to int of input of enter second number. We have to enter two numbers there. If A greater than B. If A is greater than B, print A. If else. And here the statement second condition 2. B is greater than A. Then print B is big. Else, print both are equal. If A is not greater than A and B is not greater than B, then both are equal. Next, we will discuss about the nested if statements. What is a nested if statement? A if statement within another if statement is called nested if statement. The syntax for the nested if statement is if followed by condition. Within this if statement, another if is placed. If condition, if followed by condition, followed by colon. The body of statements after colon. Now, body will execute when the condition 1 is condition 1 and condition 2. Both are true. Let us see an example. Write a Python program to print the typed input is vowel or consonant or digit or symbol. Let us take a character. As character is a string, we need not to give any data type. So ch equal to input, press a key. That means we can enter any character. Let us consider string 1 equal to AEIOU, capital AEIOU. Though capital letters AEIOU are also vowels, we have to consider those are as a string. The condition in the if statement, ch is greater than or equal to A and ch is less than or equal to Z. That means these are small letters, or ch equal to ch greater than or equal to capital A and ch less than or equal to capital Z. Then it is considered as a character. If it is present between A to Z. If ch is in string 1, print vowel. Print it is vowel. str1. If there we have seen that it is a character. If it is present in the string 1, we have mentioned, so it is printed as vowel. It is not present in the string 1, so it is considered as vowel. Else if it is not a character, then we will move to the else if block. Ch is less than or ch is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 9, then it is considered as a digit. Else, if it is not a digit and it is not a character, then it is definitely a symbol. Let us discuss what are the looping statements. Python provides two types of looping or repetition statements. Namely, they are for loop and while loop. Let us see them in depth with a example and syntax. For loop. Syntax for the for loop. For variable in sequence, followed by colon statements. The first element of the sequence is assigned to the variable written after for, and then the statements are executed. Next, the second element of the sequence is assigned to the variable, and then the statements are executed second time. In this way, for each element of the sequence, the statements are executed once. Here, the ending value is not included in the sequence. So the for loop is executed as many times as there are number of elements in the sequence. Let us take an example. Write a Python program to print 0 to 9 numbers. For number, let us take no variable in range 10. Here, if we are not mentioning any initial value, so it is taken as a 0 to 10. That means n value is not included. So print number of n equal to j. Let us see while loop. The syntax for the while loop is while followed by condition and colon within the body of the loop. Let us take an example. Write a Python program to print your name 5 times. Here we have to note that for loop is a finite loop, and whereas while loop is an infinite loop. In for loop, the user knows how many times the loop repeats. But in while loop, the user do not knows how many times the loop repeats. Name, let us take, it is an Anand. Let us consider I equal to 1, while I less than equal to 5. Print name. Here the I plus equal to 1. That means I equal to I plus 1. Increment is 1. Thank you everyone. తిని ఒకసారి సేవ్ ఎలా చేయాలి అని ఒకసారి చూసుకుని ఇంకొచ్చేస్తా అయిపోయింది. చేసుకుంటావు, ఎందుకు చేసుకోవు? ఎన్ను తెలుసుగా, హాట్స్పాట్ ఉండిద్ది చూడు దాంట్లోనే. ఏ ఇదిగో పాజ్ చేసా, మొత్తం రికార్డ్ చేశాను, తర్వాత ఏం చేయాలో చేస్తాను. స్టాప్ కూడా లేనా? అయిపోయింది ఇదిగో. ఏ ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని
అవుతుంది, ఆగు.
ఏం చేయాలి చెప్పు.
ఆగు,
ఎండ్ చేసా. స్టాప్ వీడియో
కాదు, ఇక్కడ ఎండ్ చేస్తేనే కదా నీకు కన్వర్ట్ అయ్యేది. రాంగ్.
ఎండ్.
yes, end for all.